Today's video is going to help with the jazz standard Autumn Leaves. We're going to take a look at the melodic elements as well as the chord elements, and take a look at how to build all the materials that we'll need to play it. So it's in the key of G, F sur sharp, and starts on an E in terms of the melody. So we're going to begin with E. Then we're going to play with our baby finger. So that would be with our second finger. That's going to be on the second fret of the fourth string from the bottom. So E, second finger, second fret, fourth string. Right. Then we have baby finger on the F sharp, which is the fourth fret of the fourth string. Open on the third string from the bottom. Then starting into the theme, but our repeat bars there. We have a C, which is on the first fret of the second string, and it just holds over to the first beat of the second bar. Then we have a D, which is open on the fourth string, E, which is once again on the second fret of the fourth string, F sharp, which is on the fourth fret of the fourth string, and then we have B, which is open on the second string, and another B, which is open on the second string. So that's the first line. Third line, that B is held over for the first beat of that second line, and then we have a C, which is on the third fret of the fifth string, D, which is open on the fourth string, E, which is on the second fret of the fourth string, and then A, which is on the second fret of the third string. And we enter into the third bar of the second line, where we have a hold on that A on the first beat. And then on beat 2, we have B, which is on the second fret of the fifth string, C sharp, which is on the fourth fret of that fifth string, and then D sharp, which is on the first fret of the fourth string, and then G, which is open on the third string. And that looks after line 2. We have line 3. We have a rest on the first beat. We have E, second fret of the fourth string, F sharp, fourth fret of the fourth string, G, which is open on the third string. And those repeat marks indicate that we're going to go back to the second bar of the first line. You can see the repeat bars turned inward there in the first full bar. So that's the one that has the A minor 7, the A negative sign 700. So we're going to play that C, which is that first note of that repeat. So that's the first fret of the second string from the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 1, and now we have on the second beat of that second bar, D, open on the fourth string, E on the second fret of that fourth string, F sharp, which is on the fourth fret of that fourth string, and then open on the second string, B, and open again on the second string. And then line 2, we have C, which is on the third fret of the fifth string, D, which is open on the fourth string, and then E, which is on the second fret of that fourth string, and then A, which is on the second fret of the third string. 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to skip that first ending, which is the on the second line, the last 2 bars and the first bar of line 3, and we're going to go to the second ending. We can see the little line there and the 2 underneath it beyond the repeat sign. So that A gets held on beat 1, and then we have F sharp on beat 2, which is the fourth fret of the fourth string, A, which is the second fret of the third string, and then G, which is open on the third string, and then E, which is on the second fret of the fourth string. And it holds through that whole third bar of line 3 and the first beat of the last bar of line 3. And then we have a rest, and then on beat 3 of that last line of last bar of line 3, we have D sharp, which is the first fret of the fourth string, and then E, which is the second fret of that fourth string. Now we're in line 4, first bar, F sharp, fourth fret of the fourth string with your baby finger, B, which is the second fret of the fifth string, and then back to the F sharp, which is the fourth fret of the fourth string, and then that holds over to beat 1 of the second bar of that line. We have another F sharp on beat 2, and then E, which is on the second fret of the fourth string, and then back to F sharp, which is the fourth fret of the fourth string, and then G, which is open on the third string, and that holds over to the first beat of the last bar of that line 4, and then we have another G on beat 2 that's open on the third string, and then F sharp, fourth fret of the fourth string, and then another G open on the third string, and then A, which is on the second fret of the third string in the first bar of line 5. It holds over to the first beat of line 5, and then we have D, which is on beat 2, which is open on the fourth string, and then up the octave to D, which is on the third fret of the second string. On beat 4, we have C, which is on the first fret of that second string, and then B, which is open on that second string. It holds over to the first beat of the last bar of that line. We have a rest, and then we have A sharp, which is the third fret of the third string, and then we have B natural, which is open on the second fret, open on the second string. Now we are into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, line 6. First bar, we have a C, first fret of the second string, 2 of those, and then we have A, which is on the second fret of the third string. We have 2 of those, and then F sharp, which is on the fourth fret of the fourth string, and that holds over to beats 1 and 2 and 3, and then we're back to another C on the first fret of the second string, and then B open on the second string, and then another B open. It holds over into the first, almost a complete last bar of line 6, and then it ends with an E on the fourth beat, which is the second fret of the fourth string, and then last line is A, which is the second fret of the third string, and then a G, which is open on the third string, and then F sharp, which is on the fourth fret of the fourth string, and then G, which is open on the third string, and then B, which is on the second fret of the fifth string, and then E, which is on the second fret of the fourth string. So that song would go 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and do repeat. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, second ending. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so there's the melody. Now we're going to take a look at the chord elements, and we have starting off with an A minor 7. The negative sign means minor. That's going to be this shape, and it's going to be on the 5th fret. So this second finger goes on the 6th string of 5th fret of the 6th string and angles a little bit, and that leaves room, that angling leaves room for the third finger to go across that same 5th fret from the 4th string down to the 2nd string, and the fifth string and the first string are muted. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We have D7, which has been substituted for a D9 in the chords, and that's this chord. So that is the second finger on the fifth fret of the fifth string, the first finger on the fourth fret of the fourth string, the third finger on the fifth fret of the third string, and the baby finger on the fifth fret of the second string. And then we have G major 7. And a lot of these are, if you did the Blue Room chords, you'll see there are a lot of similarities in shapes. We have G major 7. This is the first finger is going to be on the third fret of the sixth string. Second finger is going to be on the third fret of the second string. Third finger is going to be on the fourth fret of the fourth string, and baby finger is going to be on the fourth fret of the third string. And 2, 3, 4, and C major 7. Okay, so C major 7 is the first finger is on the third fret of the fifth string. We have the third finger on the fifth fret of the fourth string. We have the second finger on the fourth fret of the third string. And we have the baby finger on the fifth fret of the second string. So that's that shape for that C major 7. And then we have F sharp minor 7 flat 5. That looks like this. And how you play that is second finger is going to be on the second fret of the sixth string. The third finger is going to be on the second fret of the fourth string. The baby finger, the fourth finger, is going to be on the second fret of the third string, and the first finger is going to be on the first fret of the second string. Again, the fifth string and the first string are muted out. And then we have B7, and B7 is been substituted for a B9 in the chord drawing. So this is the same shape you played earlier as a D9, but it's down here on the second fret instead of the fifth fret. How it's played is with the second finger on the second fret of the fifth string, first finger on the first fret of the fourth string, third finger on the second fret of the third string, and baby finger on the third fret of the, second fret of the second string. And so that is that B7, and then E minor. E minor is going to be up here. So that is the 7th fret. First finger is going to be barred across to the 5th string, and then we're going to build an A minor shape on top of that. So that's first finger barred across to the 5th string on the 7th fret, second finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd string, third finger on the 9th fret of the 4th string, and baby finger on the 9th fret of the 3rd string. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the slanted line with the dot above and below it is a repeat sign. So we have another full bar of that E minor 7, and then we have F sharp minor 7 flat 5 in the first bar of line 4. I didn't address the repeat yet. We'll get to that. So that's F sharp minor 7 flat 5, which we've already played. This is a B7 flat 9. So how that's played is third finger is going to play the second fret of the 5th string. First finger is going to play the first fret of the 4th string. Baby finger, fourth finger, is going to play the second fret of the 3rd string, and second finger is going to play the first fret of 2nd string. And the 6th string and 1st string are muted out. That's the B minor 7. B7 flat 5. Yep, B7 flat 5. Then we have another E minor. So we're back up here again. 2, 3, and we're repeat signs. So we got another one of those. Now we're back to the beginning theme. So we have A minor 7. Then we have D7, which is going to be substituted for D9. G major 7. 2, 3, 4. Another bar of G major 7. F sharp minor 7 flat 5. 3 B7 flat 9. 2, 3, 4. Now we have this interesting drop. Here's how it works. We have E minor, which you've already played. We have E minor 7, which you've not played. So E minor 7 is going to be this bar across the 7th fret to the 5th string. And you're going to play the second finger on the 8th fret of the second string and the third finger on the 9th fret of the 4th string. Starts with that chord, and then we have E flat 7, which is going to be replaced with E flat 9, which is going to sound like that. And then we have D minor 7, and it's going to be the same. No, we haven't done D minor 7 in this, I don't think, yet. D minor 7 is going to be, first finger is going to be barred across the 5th fret to the 5th string, and then we are going to have the second finger on the 6th fret of the 2nd string, and the third finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string. And that's that, and then D flat 7, which is going to be replaced with a D flat 9, and that's going to be this same shape that we've had before, but on the 4th fret, we're going to have the second finger on the 4th fret of the 5th string, first finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, third finger is going to be on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and baby finger is going to be on the 4th fret of the 2nd string. And then C major 7, we've already played, and then B7 flat 9, and then E minor. Okay, so to put that together, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 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 2 and repeat now, and 1, 2 back to the top, 4 D9, 2, 3 G major 7, 1, 2 and 3 C major 7, 1, 2 and 3 F sharp minor 7 flat 5, and 3 and 4, and now second ending, B9, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so we're at line 4, first bar, 1, B, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, B7 flat 9, 2 and 3, E minor, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, A minor 7, 1, 2 and 3, D7, 1, 2 and 2 bars of G major 7, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, B7 flat 9, and here we go, E minor 7, E flat 7, D minor 7, D flat 7, and C major 7, B7 flat 9, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and that's the chord elements. So you have all the chords you need. Like I said, sometimes the 7 chord is substituted for a 9 chord. I've located all of those for you, and the negative sign means minor. So sometimes that's a little m, and sometimes it's a negative sign. So that'll help you get through the chord, and the melody and the chord elements of Autumn Leaves. Okay.